what's up guys, me Dead Flash. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a bit of a different video today. Today we're going to be doing concert review, and I've never done one on the channel before, so I'm pretty excited to jump into it. Basically on the 11th of March, which as of recording this was only a couple of days ago now, obviously 2025, I went to see Limpbizkit live. First big metal gig for me. Definitely have a lot to say, so let's get right into the video. So basically, the concert I went to was called Loserville, right? It was hosted by a man called John Carnage. I don't know if you guys can see the poster up there that I've got, but yeah, that's what it was. So basically, it had a total of I keep saying stand up, 5 support acts, and support acts, 5 of them. That's quite a bit. So travelled up to Dublin to see it, went to the Three Arena, which is where it was on, and then had to queue for about an hour. This was around like 5 p.m. Concert doors opened around 6, then the gig itself didn't start till about 7. Maybe half 6. It started quicker than I expected, but you know. So anyway, first support act we had was Karen Dio. Karen Dio is from Brazil. She's really talented. When I looked her up, it said like alternative and like indie, but she's kind of more like rocky. And she can definitely do some metal screams. She's really, really insanely talented. She was very good, and she really got the crowd hyped, I think. And she really prepared us for that, like, oh, it was going to be a night of like headbanging and shit, which you'd expect at a Limpbizkit concert anyway. But yeah, she was brilliant, really, really good. I didn't get a chance to grab any of her merch, but definitely check her out if you haven't before, because she's really talented, and I'll insert a clip of her playing here. So yeah, that was Karen Dio. She's absolutely out of this world amazing. So talented, really fun to watch, really has great stage presence. And yeah, that was probably one of the best support acts I had seen that evening. So next up, I was nervous for this support act because we had a guy by the name of Nate No Face. Keep calling him Nano Face, I don't know why. It's purely by accident. But this man, when I tell you, the stage presence was crazy, right? And I had been seeing it on social media and stuff, everyone being like, now I understand why it's called Loserville. What is this guy doing? Blah, 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 So I was like, right, it might be shitty, but we'll see. Like, I was ready to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. And oh my god, deliver he did. He was actually one of my favorite ones to watch, because like he was like banging his head with the mic. His vocals were really impressive too. A little more rap or hip hoppy kind of vibe rather than alt, but it was definitely along the lines of Ghostmain. If my viewers are familiar with that, then it's kind of without as much metal screaming. It was more like somewhere along hardcore and punk, and then mixed with a bit of trap metal. But he was really, really good. And he had that stage presence similar to Karen Dio as well. He was very enjoyable to watch. And a nice beat too, and definitely kept you entertained because you were always wondering what he was going to do next, and what the magician's going to pull out of the hat. Like, that was very much his shtick. So I really liked him, even though I was not expecting to. Do you know what I mean? Because like when you hear bad things online, you're like, oh, okay, like I probably won't be into that guy, but that's fine. But no, he was great, and I actually would have listened to him again, and I probably still will. So Nate No Face, all the way from America, he came, and yeah, go check him out because he was awesome. And I'll insert a clip of him playing now. So next up we had, I believe Eka Vandal was next. See, there were so many that I can't even remember. Eka Vandal is a South African woman from Melbourne, Australia. I think she came from. Like, she was born in South Africa, but she moved there, and then she flew all the way out to us from Melbourne, which was great to see. Um, style of music, I suppose. Alt or indie is kind of what Google is pinning it as. I suppose I'd agree along those lines, I suppose. But also count how many times I say I suppose in this video, I'm telling you. But no, like she was good. Not really up my street in terms of like my kind of music, but definitely really good stage presence as well. Very cool costumes. The drummer was great, the guitar was great, like everything was on point. It just wasn't my style per se of music, but I still enjoyed watching it, it was a great act, like um but because of that lack of genre that I'm gravitated to, I'd say it probably wasn't my favorite thing that was going on that night. But I was also really tired as well, so maybe I just didn't take it in well enough. But regardless, I was still having a great time cheering on, and I took some videos as well. So I will pop in my clip here. But yeah, really cool merch as well, Eka Vandal had. So definitely check that band out. Really, really great stuff. I'm not sure if my viewers would be into it, but maybe it's kind of like, again, like a blurred line between alt indie and kind of rock or prog or whatever. So like, look them up, see if it's your thing. Next up, I got a wonderful surprise because even though it was the fourth support act, I was absolutely um, about to like die, for lack of a better word. I was sitting in between. We were right at the back, right, because I didn't want to mosh that night. I was too tired, so I was sitting in between the sound booth little barrier at the end of every like support act, and then this guy John Carnage, right, that's hosting, would come out and he'd be like running around, and he was a comedian and stuff, and he was like, "Hey losers, it's Loserville," and I'll put in a clip here.
We're gonna be losing tonight. Let's go all in, right? Oh.
But yeah, like that was John Carnage, and he was just like, it's like what me and my friends were saying is like, I know it was only the second night of the tour that we went to up in Dublin, but like you think you'd have some material, like, and I did find him funny, but then the crowd got rough, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I ended up having a bit of pity for him at the end of the night. But anyway, the next support act was a band called Bones. I listened to them previously to this, and you might even hear me in the clip that I insert saying it to my friend, like, "Oh, we listened to them." She's like, "What?" But no, it was so great to see them live. They're kind of trap metally, more like rap, but again, kind of like Ghostman, but they were not the same as Nate No Face. It was two differently sided of the spectrum, two different complete vibes. But like, however, they have some presence on the stage. There was flashlights going off because at this point the crowd's getting rowdy, right? There's a few paramedics needed, and the guys from Bones are like, "Oh, I see a flashlight, y'all. Are y'all all right?" Like, okay. They also came from the US, by the way. But it's really nice to see, because like they came all this way, and like, they're like hyping you up from Limpbizkit. It's nice. But yeah, I don't really know how to describe their music except for the fact that they're just amazing. So they had a really cool, and you'll see it in the video as well, really cool skull like set piece, and it was glowing. It was really sick, like, and they had us going with our flashlights doing do 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 do, it was a really good time. So yeah, it was a really pleasant surprise that I got to see them as well, and especially that I listened to them. So two bands that I were pre-existing on my playlist, I got to see live, so that was really great too. So now I'm going to insert the clip of Bones, and then we'll talk crowd and concert etiquette. So yeah, that was Bones. Really, really good stage presence. Absolutely unreal night, and a great way to kind of end off the support acts. So then we had been standing, and this is not counting traveling up there, because we traveled up and went back home in the one day. It's like a 3-hour train drive. So we were standing well over 10 hours at this stage, like for me. But then, even just at the concert alone, it had been like 6, 5, borderline, it was getting late. And then John Carnage came out and he's doing all his stripping and stuff and his hey losers, and we're like grand, yeah. But then everyone's so mad at him, everyone's riled up, everyone's got a lot of drink in their system. It's like I feel like, okay, this is going to turn into Woodstock, because like at Nate No Face he was the second support act and we were already seeing condom balloons. We are like, oh yeah, that's a bit of a laugh. But now it was getting like, oh, they're pissed, this is scary. So they start buying water just so they can throw it at him from the crowd. And it got so bad to the point where one of the little halftime intermission break things, he didn't even come out or show his face. It was just like his audio recording being like, hey losers, because like he was scared like that he was gonna get like fucked up. And rightly so, like that was scary and I felt bad for him. But also I see what people are saying and I agree that, like, if you're going to do a tour like that, have material. But that's what Limpbizkit do. That's what they did in Woodstock. Oh, you don't need to mellow out, it's fine. And then they rile them up, you know what I mean? And I'm not blaming like Fred Durst for what happened at Woodstock 99, but all I'm saying is, with Limpbizkit there's a common theme with their concerts of like, that's what Fred wants, is you to get riled up, and then at the end it's like, fuck, like lose your mind for him. And I don't hate it. It's kind of like a fun time because it's his thing, but it's not exactly practical. So then Limp Bizkit finally come out, and let's just talk about Fred's talent first. Okay, so this guy, he still sounds like he did in the 90s. Okay, it was brilliant. It was absolutely sick. And the one thing about the long wait being fucked is that it was straight bangers, start to finish, no filter. Now we had to leave early to get our bus home, but we only missed like 3 songs, two if you count the fact that break stuff is played twice. It's played on opening and it's played upon ending as well. So I didn't mind that. But like, oh my god, that man sounds so good. He sounds exactly like he did back in his day. And it's amazing to see. And it was absolutely unreal. Now, I have to say, I was standing. I had war with some people in the crowd. I had war with some people in the crowd because a lot of people, as I say, were drunk at this time. I was not. And I'm 5 foot. Yes, I picked standing tickets. Yes, it's the only ticket I would get. But and I understand that like people are moshing and things, so it does get rough. We'll get into that in a sec. But people standing in front of me and shit when they are like trying to cut like where my space was, because we had a really good view of everything from the sound booth, right, until the moshing starts. But you get that because like, I'm short girl and I'm in the back, right? That's fine. But like, this guy tried to like cut into my space with his fiance, and then he was telling me like, oh, you go into the crowd where I was. And I said, no, I will not go into the crowd. You work away, I said, but I was here first. And like, not even that, but it's just like, I can't see from there. You're about 7 foot. So I was not having that. And call me a Karen all you want, but if I paid for it and I was there first and someone's just trying to cut in front of me, you know what I mean? Like, we're literally trying to stand where I'm standing pre existingly. I don't have an invisibility cloak on as far as I'm aware. I'm still quite very much here. So, I'm gonna say it to him. Like, I was just like, man, like chill out. And he, the smell of drink off him, lads. I mean, I've had my moshing times, right? I've had drink spilled all over me. A drink got spilled all over me that night. But oh my god, this, like, just the smell of drink in there. Couldn't breathe, couldn't do anything. I felt like I couldn't even sweat because there was so much sweat. It was crazy, but it was really fun. It was a savage concert, right? But there's good and bad things to that when you're a 5 foot girl who's been standing all day and is wrecked, and some big tall fella who just drifted in out of the crowd from nowhere comes in and just stands in your place, and you're like, yeah, hello, buddy, no thank you. So, you know, call me what you want, but you know, it's concert etiquette, like. And with metalheads, then I think that's often a grey area as well because they're all moshing, so you kind of get pushed out of your place anyway. Just wanted to pop in the edit here, guys, and state that obviously, usually metalheads are really welcoming and accepting, and I've been to a few quiet gigs in my time, like a few small local ones and stuff like that, and I don't want to deface metalheads as a community as being unforgiving people. It was just this one fella. There's always one prick, and he just happened to be it. So yeah, I really don't mean to rant and talk bad on the community that I am quite clearly a part of, but yeah, I just thought I'd add that note. And I don't mind that, but like, we were at the back, there was no mosh pit at the back, you know what I mean? So it was just like a courtesy thing. And shout out to this woman who said it to him and was like, uh, she's tiny and she can't see, and he was like, oh, sorry, but then he started being a prick about it. So I'm well capable of dealing with that stuff. Like, don't think just because I'm a woman and because I'm short that I'm going to let anybody push me around in a space like that, because I'm not. So anyway, rant aside from that guy. So the the whole time the support acts were trying to get us to mosh for them. They were like, mosh to it, come on, let's get a big pit going. Nobody wanted to mosh. They were also pissed that they started throwing their drinks at John Carnage, and that was well, not that that was fine, but you know what I mean. Like, that happened, that's grand. But then, like, when Limpbizkit came on, they were like, Fred was like, okay, let's get a big pit, doing what he does, and we were like, right. So everyone starts a big pit, and by the way, he warned us that Conor McGregor was in the crowd. Any Irish people watching this, you'll know exactly what I mean. I was in the presence of that. I'm not happy with that at all. I do not agree with what he's done 100%. Disgusted that I was even in the same room as him. He's not an icon. He's not a celebrity to me anymore. He's just a fucking prick. So, that being said, um, obviously he was in the middle of the mosh pit, right? People start like going at him because they're like, oh, I'm gonna rough you up. But Conor McGregor's a wrestler, so then that caused chaos. There's paramedics in and out for girls, guys, whatever. Like, people getting squished in the crowd. It's mad. I've never wished I was sitting for something so much in my life, right? But yeah, basically I was at the back by the sound booth, right? So the moshing starts and it gets so crazy that it's a domino effect from the front that we are pushed back to the back, and we're like, whoa. It was absolutely mad. I had to get my chicken wings out and push people off me, and I was just like, ooh, because as I say, like, I may look short and yeah, I'm fat or whatever, but like, I'm well capable of being in a zone like that, and knowing how to survive without breaking something, because there was a few people who got hurt. Like, that always, that always happens, like, because the crowd was crazy. And that's, again, I'm not saying anything bad about like what happened at Woodstock, but in relation to Fred Durst. However, you know it's the formula. Like, it was the exact same formula, and if that was open air with a stage with wooden boards and somebody had a lighter, who knew what could have happened? Do you know what I mean? Without proper security. Like, that's just life as a metalhead. Like, you gotta get used to it. So I didn't mind that part. I mean, obviously it was crazy. I wasn't used to it, but I was also expecting it, because I was like, okay, go in there expecting the worst, because you've seen what happened at the likes of other places that they've been. So, like, let's see. But honestly, I'm so glad I went, though. Next time, would I do sitting? Absolutely. However, it wasn't bad. Like, I really had a great night. I'm so glad I seen them live. I really enjoyed it. And then I guess you're probably wondering where the fifth support act comes in. That was a guy called Riff Raff. Really, really good. He did kind of a duet thing with Fred Durst. And then that was it. But like, we couldn't wait anymore, so like, they were like, right, just like, two of them will go together. And then he played Break Stuff, he played Nookie, he played, I think, Faith, like all the bangers. It was really good. Like, you can't deny that it wasn't just like banger after banger with no gaps and no breaks. Like, it was insane.
I think I saw a tiny mosh pit. it out there. As long as you keep it safe, I want to see a huge. What you got, boy? What you got? From what I see, you ain't got shit. Welcome to Loserville, you fucking loser! Ladies and gentlemen, and all of the in-between, please, let me introduce you to Mr. Wes Borden. From the front to the back, side to side, 3, 2, come on!
But as I said, then it was getting rough. People were buying drinks, and obviously in Three Arena in Dublin, they give you them in the little cups, and they take they don't give you a bottle, they don't give you whatever. Like, it's just literally you're drinking the see-through cup, like most gigs nowadays would do, for safety and stuff. People were buying those drinks and throwing them up into the crowd and going to get more just to throw them up into the crowd. I don't know where they're getting their money, lads. I'd love to have that kind of money to just be throwing drinks around like that. If anybody knows how to get so rich that you can just do that at every concert, like, feel free. But yeah, I don't know. It was funny though, and like I was getting splashed with everything from Guinness to God only knows what, and I was just like, woo, it was great. Yeah, I wore my vest, I wore my esophagus long sleeve, my cargos, which are now destroyed in drink that was not mine, but that's what you get for Limpbizkit concert, and like my Adidas Campus shoes. But it was insane. Like, I was so hot, which I expected. That's why I didn't bring many layers, because I was like, right, I don't want to like carry them and stuff, and then I had a crossbody bag. So what I did was I just like fucked it on the ground and then just had my vest and my sleeves rolled up and I was just dancing away. But it was a great night. Like, it was absolutely insane. So what's the takeaway from this? I would have to give the concert at least 10 out of 10, because it fulfilled my dreams of seeing Limpbizkit live. Would I ever do it again standing? Probably not, with my dimensions, but I did it, and now I can say I survived that pit, you know what I mean? Well, I didn't really survive the pit, I wasn't in the pit, but like, you know what I mean? I survived it, like, it was fun. I didn't think I'd like die or anything anyway, but you know, um, it can be scary with a lot of really tall people around you, and then you're just there, and it can be scary anyway because you're engulfed like in this crowd. Also, we're pretty sure that they oversold the tickets for standing because the seats were packed. But then standing, people were, if you know the layout of the Three Arena, then you'll know, people were spilling out into the food courts. We were so tightly packed in. That shouldn't be happening. Like, you should not have that many people. But either way, it kind of added to the vibe of it. Getting out was some feat, but as I say, I'm well able. I'm confident in myself, with things like that, and I was well able to enjoy myself despite not having an inch of room to myself, because I'm kind of used to that, and as I say, I would expect that anyway from the concert. So yeah, I kind of just want to clarify again that, like, I'm not shitting on Fred Durst, I'm not shitting on the venue or anything or anyone else who was involved with it. It was a really enjoyable night. It just, organization doesn't exist at a Limpbizkit concert. It just doesn't exist. So like, anything that I'm saying here, you're probably like, oh yeah, we'll learn it's Limpbizkit, so that's a given. And I'd absolutely agree with you. Like, But yeah, great night, 10 out of 10 overall. As I showed you earlier, I do have the poster thingy here that I printed off. So they're going UK and Europe. As I say, we were the second tour night. So it finishes in like April, I think. And I went to see it on the 11th of March, which is the second date. So yeah, if you're about to go, I'd highly recommend it. Only thing is, get ready if you're standing to endure a lot and get ready to get really pissed at the host, John Carnage. However, I do feel bad for him. But then again, have your material, like, you know, and kind of humming and hawing about what I feel about that as of late. But it was amazing, really good merch. However, most of the merch is for the support bands as opposed to Limpbizkit. This is the tour shirt that I got. Hang on, let me show you there. This is the shirt that I got. It's kind of just says Loserville on it and stuff. And yeah, it's not bad. Like, it's really cute and it's really good quality too. But yeah, like, no CDs, nothing physical media, nothing like that really. They had a few beanies, a few t-shirts, a few hoodies, and that was kind of the gist. Um, check out all the sport acts I mentioned. Go give them some love and support because they're touring right now. And if you are going to attend Loserville, I hope this video helped you. If you were looking out for any information about how the tour was and stuff like that, and how long things were and things, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have in the comments if you are attending a further date in the future or something like that. I don't know. Depends who's watching this, really. But yeah, definitely a wild night, but so unreal. Got home at about 2:30 a.m. Was in bed for 3, slept the whole way on the bus. Died, came back to life, and I'm now here to tell the tale. So that was my first proper concert review. I feel like I'm doing so many disclaimers right today. Like, girl, chill out a bit. But yeah, I don't know what else to say really. That was everything, I think. Unless I think of something else to say. I hope you enjoyed the concert review. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and hopefully, as I say, I answered some questions if someone found this through the search engine or whatever. But yeah, no hate to Limpbizkit, no hate to Three Arena, no hate to Fred Durst, no hate to anyone. Um, except maybe a little bit of hate to some of the people in the crowd that were getting pushy. Because, like, I had naked body parts on me of men. I'm a lesbian. I don't like that. I don't want that. But it's Limpbizkit, so hey, you know, woo, what are you gonna do? But, like, I expected it. I don't know if that makes it okay, but yeah. It was fine. It was a great night. But yeah, that's kind of everything I have to say surrounding it, I suppose. I'm hoping to get this video out for St. Patrick's Day. So if I do, happy St. Patrick's Day to all my Irish viewers who are watching. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.